Hello there guys, I am making this video because a huge number of people have all asked me the same question. Now they've not asked me on my YouTube channel, but this is direct messages through Xbox. So rather than replying to everybody, I just thought I'd make a video and show you the answer rather than trying to explain it all. So I'm going to answer that question. The question is, how do we find your blueprint? Where the fuck is your blueprint? I followed you, I can't find your blueprint. You're my friend on Xbox, but your blueprint isn't showing. Have you deleted your blueprint? Etc, etc, etc. Right, the reason you can't find it is because this blueprint thing is a little bit fucked up. There's a couple of things that don't work the way you expect them to, which I'm pretty sure the way we expect it to work is the way it's supposed to work, but it doesn't, it's broken. But there is a little bit of a workaround, which is quite simple. So this video is going to have two parts. Part one, I'm going to show you how to find somebody else's blueprint. Part 2, I'm going to show you how to create your own blueprint. Part 0.5, so the introduction, I want to very quickly tell you why you might want to create your own blueprint rather than following somebody else's. When you make your own blueprint, there's a few things that you want to be doing. First of all, it's your own race. You can do it however you want to do it so it suits you. You can handicap the driver tars as much as you want to. So you can make it quite competitive, or you can make it so it's an absolute no-brainer and you would win no matter what you do, right? It's very, very easy to cripple the driver tars. I'll show you how to do that in a little bit. The other thing you can do is set the number of laps that you want to race, which is quite important. If you want to, do a race that's 30 laps, and someone's put a blueprint up for 5, don't do their blueprint over and over again. Just make your own. And two more things. One, you can set the blueprint to either road racing, cross-country or dirt racing. And it doesn't matter where the race is. So you can have a race that goes up and down the motorway, which is obviously a road race, but you can set it to be a dirt race. So when you then race it, all of your influence points go into your dirt racing category so that you can improve your statistics on that if you need to. Now I hate the cross-country races. They're not my thing at all. They're really not. I just don't like them. And so I'm not doing them. But I mean, I am going to do them, but when I do them, I'm not going to get up to level 20 by doing them all. So what I've done is created a blueprint that goes up and down the motorway, which I do in a very fast car, and I've set that to be a cross-country race. So when I do it, I get points in my cross-country category rather than my road racing category, just so I can get it up to 20. So it enables you to cheat like that. Now the final reason why you might want to do this, if I just go into my message center, have a look at this, daily payouts. That one. So we're looking at these blueprint events, and I want to show you, I want to move down the page a bit. 135,000 credits, 108,000, 95,000, 136,000, 239,000. I mean, you make a lot of money doing these, okay? Now you can see here, this is a popular blueprint. 224 likes, 639 uses. It's made me almost 250,000 credits. Now, I don't need any more money. I've got enough money, right? I do plan on getting all the cars in the game, and I know this isn't enough to do that, but I'm not that bothered about making more money at the moment. So rather than racing my blueprints, just make your own. When you make one, it automatically shares it, and then other people can race it. Now you might be thinking, that's fine for you. You've got a YouTube channel, so I can showcase my own blueprints and then other people can race them, which is true. I can do that. Quite a lot of people have sent me messages saying, hey, will you check out my blueprint? Will you feature it on your channel and stuff like this? Now, I don't want all of my subscribers to suddenly start making blueprints and ask me to feature them. That's not going to happen. I'm not going to go and test, like 1,000 blueprints, see which ones I like, and then tell people to go and race them. It's just, I'm not going to do that. But what I'd like to suggest, okay, based on what I tell you in this video, go and make a blueprint and then leave a comment on this video and tell people, first of all, tell them your gamer tags. They're going to need that to find the blueprint. Tell them where the blueprint is, so the starting location, because that's really important. Also tell them roughly how long it takes to race it and how much money and how much influence they can expect to get from it. So bear in mind that if they are on VIP, they get double. If they're not on VIP, they got half of what you might get if you're on VIP. So tell them, whether or not these figures are VIP or not. And also tell them whether or not it's a guaranteed win. So have you handicapped the driver tars? Is it almost a guaranteed win, or is it quite competitive? Now, I like making money in influence points. but I also like racing something that's competitive. So, I mean, make blueprints which are, you know, guaranteed wins, because some of my followers will just want money. Also make blueprints which are just fucking good races, because that's fun to do, and it's rewarding when you do win off your own credit. So don't cripple the driver tiles, and make those ones as well. So if you want to make a blueprint and you want my subscribers to check it out, then do those things. Reply to this video, comment on this video, and just leave that information. Your Xbox name, so they can follow you, the location where it starts, how much money and influence they can expect to make, how long it takes, and whether or not you have crippled the driver tiles. So that's the information that we need. So once you've done that and people start racing them, then you'll make money, like I am. Now, I kind of do want some people to continue racing mine, because if we go in here, you can see that I am a level 5 blueprinter, and I want to max all this stuff out. I'm a completionist, so I want to get this up to, I assume, level 20. But, I mean, people, whether I tell you to or not, some people are definitely going to continue racing my blueprint, so I don't need any more new people doing them, so just do your own. Anyway, that said, let's now crack on with part 1 of the video, and part 1 is finding somebody else's blueprint if you just can't be fucked to make your own, right? This is how you find someone else's blueprint. Now, I know that someone with the gamertag anti-Doug has made a blueprint which starts here, on this place right here, on the Greendale Super Sprint, which is just up in Edinburgh. It's not in Greendale, it's in Edinburgh. So if I go here, you would expect me to be able to find his blueprint, yeah? Right, the first thing that I need to do is I need to go into the Xbox thing, press the Xbox button. So I'm doing that now. You just have to take my word for it, because you can't see it, because the game recording thing doesn't show you my menus. So I then go left where it says people, I go down to find someone, and I type in his name. Now, fortunately, Anti-Doug is quite a simple, very short name. A-N-T-I-D-O-U-G. Very simple, very short, easy to type. Don't you fucking hate it when someone says, hey, add me on Xbox or follow me or whatever, and you go, okay, what's your gamer tag? And it's like a mile long of loads of random characters. It's like every other one is a capital and then a lowercase, and then like some of them are characters that you don't even know where they are or how to find them, and then there's a bunch of numbers as well. You're like, nah, fuck off, I'm not doing that. That's going to take me all fucking day. I hate typing on the on-screen thing. You're not worthy of my friendship if you can't have a decent short gamer tag that's just simple to do, okay? If your gamer tag is a mile long, full of random, bizarre bullshit that I can't find on the keyboard, I'm not going to add you. So I've just found Anti-Doug. Scroll down to where it says add friend. So I've added Anti-Doug. Doug the Merchant is what his name is on there. So now I'm following him. He's now my friend. So I know he's got a blueprint here. So if I go into enter event, I'm just going to go on solo, go over to custom events, go across. Oh, by the way, just completely ignore those. It was just a couple of tests that I did. It didn't really work. I'm sending the driver tiles all the way around the city while I'm doing just a little square. The race works, but I don't get any bonus credit for what they did. So it's just, I need to delete them. So just ignore those. So if I go over to my friends and following, you would expect there to be, inside here, a blueprint from Anti-Doug, but there is not. So what the fuck is going on, right? This is one of the places where it's just broken. It doesn't work. So you see at the bottom, there's a button I can press to search. So I'm going to press that. Now go up to search category and go to friends and followed. And press confirm. And there he is, Anti-Doug, Greendale Super Sprint, right? Go over to friends and followed, nothing. Go to search results, Anti-Doug. So this is how you find somebody else's blueprint. Now this blueprint is good. It's quite a nice race. It's not boring. It's not just up and down the motorway. It's got a little bit of town in it. There's some nice corners in this where you go around that big roundabout. So it's pleasant to drive. But what he's crippled the... I'm gonna show you actually. I'm not gonna race it, but I will show you it. He has crippled the driver tiles in 2 locations. So there's a couple of points where you go down the motorway and they have to go off at a 90-degree turn into a field, turn around and come back on. And it takes them some time to do that. So you're pretty much guaranteed to win. Unless you seriously fuck up, you're definitely going to win this. Now, it takes a long time. It's 15 laps, so I don't know, maybe an hour or something. But it gives you a shitload of credits and a shitload of influence, and it's nice. It's a nice track to drive. Now, I know a lot of people, they just do blueprints that just go up and down the motorway and that's it, right? They get you a lot of points and they're fast to drive. What the fuck are you doing, Anti-Doug? Right, this is your track. What are you doing? Look at him. Right, this is the person that made the track and his drivatar is on drugs. Oh, and this guy here, ABK something, Blitzkrieg. I used to play the Blitzkrieg pop bop. Blitzkrieg, what's it called? I used to play it in my band, I can't remember what it was called, I was only the drummer. Right, so anti-drug, and anti-drugs. Right, Anti-Doug, who's bought some drugs from his auntie, the anti-drug, has managed to create a blueprint, drive like a fucking lunatic, crash into some shops, and now he's just having a spliff in his car. Right? Or maybe he's thinking, oh, I'm completely fucked, I can't do this, I need to sit down for a bit, I need to relax, look out for the police, I've got to calm down, I've got to sober up before I do this race. If I give him a push, come on, chop chop. It's like, what the fuck is he doing? It's like, it's not hard to beat the drivatars when they just park up and roll up, just relax. Anyway, I want to show you the track. So this is the track, look. I'll show you what you have to do. So you start here, you have to go along there. Well, you start here, you crash into a load of shops, they just park on the corner. That's all you have to do. Right, you go this way, then you go down there, you go along here, you have to go up this, you go round these two roundabouts. This is a nice part, actually. I do like driving this. Come down here. You have to go properly around the roundabouts. There's a checkpoint on it about here. Then you go down the motorway. Now this thing here, you don't have to do that, but the drivatars do, and it really fucking slows them down. Now when you get to this roundabout, you're coming down on this side of the road, but you go over the roundabout this way, because there's a checkpoint over here. So you have to kind of switch to the other side of the road. If you don't, you'll miss it. Then come back onto this side of the road, all the way down here. Now when we get down here, the drivatars have to go off on the side again. You don't have to do that. Come along here, you do have to come up the off-ramp and across the bridge, and then you come back down. Now coming back up the motorway, you do have to do this. There is a checkpoint on here, and then you come all the way back up the motorway. The same thing happens here. So you come up on this side, you go around the roundabout on that side. So it's a nice little bit of variety. And then you come back all the way up here, along this end straight, and then back up to the start. So you're doing that on 15 laps, and it is kind of nice. It's like, especially this little town bit, I like this. Now, the motorway bit, I mean, it's basically just giving you credits because it's very easy to drive up and down here really quickly. You can't jump the roundabout. On a lot of these blueprints, people make it so they have like a checkpoint here, and then the next checkpoint is all the way down here, so you can just jump straight across this. But in this situation, you can't. You have to go around the roundabout, not properly. You got to go over here and do it backwards. But it's nice. It's nice to drive. But the two things you've not got to do is this bit right here, and then the other similar one down there. So the drivatars have to do that, and because of that, it's very easy to win. Now, it's not an absolute no-brainer. If you're trundling around here just looking at the scenery, they're going to beat you, so you've got to properly race. But this detour, I mean, it's a 90-degree bend. It seriously slows them down. And obviously, you've not got to do that. So you're going like 200 miles an hour straight past. So you're going to win. It's 15 laps. By the time you get to the end of it, you're looking at a huge amount of credits and influence. So I would recommend that if you want to do this, and it is worthwhile driving, it's a nice track, then add Anti-Doug. So A-N-T-I-D-O-U-G. Add him as a friend on Facebook, and then when you actually go into the thing, you probably won't actually find his blueprint. Now, it seems that sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You just go to your friends and followed, and sometimes they're there, sometimes they're not. But if you go on the search, and then search by category friends and followed, I think they always show up in that. I've never not seen them in that section, so whenever I've had problems, they've always been in there. So, I think we're done with part 1. So that's how to find somebody else's blueprint. And when this gets out, I just want to check something else really, really quickly. Come on. If I just go into the main menu, this is a beautiful car, isn't it? If I go into this Creative Hub section here, and I just go on Blueprints, And if I go over to my friends and followed thing, right, so we've got Anti-Doug in here, the aerodrome one, and that's it. We've just got one of his races in here, look, the aerodrome one, that's it. But if I go on the search, and I search by category friends and followed, it should show all of them. So now we've got Anti-Doug, 1, 2, 3. So was that the? So that's the one, look, Greendale. That's the one I was just at, the 15-lap one. So yeah, so I assume these are all of Anti-Doug's things are showing up in here. He hasn't done many, but XMY1, who is the new fine art, who regularly, I only just realised yesterday that this person is the same person as the new fine art. So, I mean, that's cut my subscribers down by one person, which is quite sad, really, because I thought there were two different people, but no, it's the same person. So you've probably seen on my YouTube videos that a guy called the new fine art comments really regularly, awesome comments, a regular commenter that always has something interesting and productive to say. Well, that is also XMY1. So he also does a lot of these blueprints, so that's another person that's worth following. And it's just, I don't follow many people, as you can see. So we can see here, I mean, Anti-Doug has done this one here, Street, with some dollars. So this one doesn't start from the same place, it's somewhere else. So let's just jump straight into this one from wherever it is. Can we do that? I'll go with the Vulcan. So you could go to that section, the Creative Hub and the blueprints, then go on search, friends and followed, and it should, you should be able to find them in there. So if you don't know the start location of the race, then it should show in there. I'm not saying 100% that it does, because I'm not certain on this. It doesn't seem like there's many in there. I would have expected there would be a lot more in there. But if you don't know the location where a race starts, then do that, check that. And if you still can't find it, then, I mean, you're just going to have to find out where the location is. So I just want to very, very quickly jump into this, just so we can see it. See what the pattern is. All right, let's have a look. There we go. Same thing again, look. You're going around in this kind of like circle-ish thing. The driver tires are doing that. So the driver tires are popping into the house. It's like you're just driving around, they've got these two detours. So if you follow Anti-Doug, this is a common theme on the races that he makes, which means that you're guaranteed to win. So if you want to make your own, look at what he's doing. Really, really simple little detour that you don't have to take. And you don't get penalised for that either. So yeah, that's part one done. Let's quit out with this. And I will now show you, for those people that don't know, how you make these blueprints. And I'll give you a couple of tips to make sure that they don't fuck up. Like, I can't guarantee they're not going to fuck up because there's some problems with this. But I have noticed that some things that I do seem to make them fuck up more often. Some things seem to help. So step one of doing this is to go into your start menu, go to your settings, and go to difficulty and change your car to automatic. If your car's in manual or manual with clutch, you cannot look at the map while you're making a blueprint, which is just fucking ridiculous, right? Your car has to be in automatic, otherwise you can't look at the map, so you need to change that. So accept that. The next thing that you want to do is to decide where you're going to start your race from. Now, you can't start it from anywhere. So go into your world map. I'm going to turn all this junk off. The places you can start are the road race series, the dirt race series, the cross-country series. So that's all these places. Now, if you haven't progressed very far in one of these different series, obviously you're not going to have all these things on the map, because as you start to level up, it unlocks more of them. Now, it's worth bearing in mind as well that if you, let's say for instance, you make a track that starts here at Whitewater Falls Cross Country. Now, if you share that track and people want to race it, if they haven't unlocked this location, they cannot race on your track. So if you want your track to be available for absolutely everybody, you kind of want to do it in a place where is one of the starter locations. Now, I don't know which ones they are. You might think to yourself, well, I know when I first started the game that, I don't know, this one here, for instance, you knew that this one was there, so most people are going to have it, therefore it's safe to start a race from there. If you know that stuff, then you know, that might influence where you start from. So have a little look around the map. Now, it annoys me that there isn't one of these on the motorway, or we can't start on the motorway. If there was one, that'd be awesome. You could do that as your start point, drive up and down, and then go round in a circuit. So I like this one. A lot of my races start on, not that one, where's it gone? This one here, this one. So I often start on this one, and then I go along here, up and down the motorway, I come back, and on the way back, I either go down this road, or I come off the motorway here and go along this road, and then loop it round. Now for me, I much prefer to use a start point where, for example, let's say I'm starting at this point here. It's going to hover over something else so that it sort of disappears. So you can kind of see it's on that vertical straight. So if I'm starting from there going north, what I want to do is go round in a circuit and come back over the start line from the south. So I'm going around in a circle. Now a lot of people start down here. So it's a really, really popular starting place, this one just here. But I mean, if you start from here and go north and then maybe go up and down the motorway, when you come back, there's no easy way to get behind that start line. So there's no easy way to get back on here and then go from it back. So what a lot of people do is they come back through the start line, like backwards, and then kind of do a handbrake turn and then go back again. I really fucking hate that. It just feels messy and wrong and horrible. I just don't like it. I really don't. So I much prefer to start somewhere and then do some kind of route. For instance, if I started there and I went and my race started by going in an easterly direction, I'd want to come back from the west, travelling in an easterly direction again to go back through the start line to do lap 2. Makes sense, right? So, okay. Here we go. Right, so I'm just going to have a quick look around. So that road there behind the truck, I can come up there. So if I go along here, go left, come back round, that can be a square. So, whoops. So, setup event. Create route. And you've got to choose your car for some bizarre reason. Oh, whoa, I forgot to turn the driver line on. Never mind, it's not that important. I mean, it just puts a line on the road, so it's very, very easy to see where you've been. So if you're making the driver tiles go up and down, and you don't want to go over your previous track because it will delete some, it makes that a lot easier to do. So now you can see now that I was pointing that way when I started this, and now I'm pointing this way, which is a little bit annoying, so you want to be aware of that as well. It can turn you around. So anyway, what I'm going to do is drive along here. I'm going to go down that road there on my right, but I'm going to force the driver tars to go along here and do this. So they've got to do that. I don't have to do that bit. So that is going to guarantee me the win, because it's only going to be a short lap. And we all have to come down here. So this is our first, oops, that's the wrong button, I do apologise. First checkpoint, we're going to pop in here. So you can see, goes to the maximum width available, but I just want it to be about this wide. So everyone's got to come through this. I'm going to go around here. I'm going to put another checkpoint in. I don't like it if there's not checkpoints at regular intervals, and I really, really wish that one of the things that, right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to force the drive tile to go down here, but I'm not going to go down here like that. Just a tiny, tiny detour. I mean, the detours can be quite long, but if you do a really long detour and the drive tiles have to drive like 20 miles and you only have to drive 5 miles, you don't get credit for the 20 miles. You only get credit for the 5 miles. So, I mean, it's only worth doing detours which guarantee you the win. It's not worth doing detours that just mean the race is a lot more miles than you have to drive. It doesn't work like that. So, anyway, as I was saying, I really hope that they update this system, and what I'd love to see is for it to automatically put down a checkpoint at every 500 yards or something that you can set. I'd love that. It'd be so useful. So you just drive around and it's going checkpoint, checkpoint, checkpoint as you're driving around. That would be fucking awesome. Now you can see at the top of the screen it says route length. We've done half a mile, and the maximum, I just want to stop a sec, and the maximum route length is 40 miles. So I mean, that little green bar would go up. When it gets to 40 miles, that's as much as you can do. If I press route options, you can see I can say place finish line. So if you just want to do an A to B, you can pop down a finish line wherever you choose. But if you want to do laps, which I think is much better, then you have to drive back through your start line. As soon as you do that, it completes it, which will happen now. So there we go. It now says I've got to test drive it. So all we've got to do is drive one lap. So here we go. Now all of the drive tars, excuse me, all of the drive tars are going to do the detour. I'm not. So they go up there. Look how much difficulty they're having turning round. See? Guaranteed win. So I'll just go this way. Now obviously you're not going to do something as short as this. I mean you can if you want. And they're going to do another detour up here. I mean that one detour would have been enough. You can see how much they've struggled with it. So that's it. That's all I've got to do. When you get back to the beginning, sometimes at this point here it fucks up and says checkpoint missed, or it just doesn't give you the race, right? If that happens, just scrap it off and start again. It's so annoying, but it's just got some problems. So at this point you want to save it, call it something. So I'm going to call it 666. Okay? Right, it's the Devil's Highway. So I'm calling it 666, just so it's nice and easy for me to find. And then you go into Create Custom Event. And when you go into this point, this is where you create the actual blueprint that you can share, that people will be on. So you can set this to whatever you want. You can do certain car types, just like normal. So have a fiddle around with this stuff. In custom, you can say people have to use this specific car. So you can say, you know, only like the P or P50 allowed, or whatever you want to do. So I think if you're going to share it with people and you want people to race it, then it's best putting it on anything goes, and it will appeal to everybody. But you can be as restricted if you like. Go over to your event settings. Now this point here is where you change from dirt, cross-country or road. So if you want more influence points on your cross-country, then set it to cross-country. It doesn't have to be cross-country. It can be a road race, but it would be categorized as whatever you put in here. So I'm going to leave it on road. Then set the number of laps. I think the maximum is 50. It is. So you can set up to 50 laps. I'm just going to set it on 3 because I want to test it. The season on whatever you like, so I'm putting mine on spring. I'm going to put it on custom. I'm going to set it to morning, clear weather, and I'm going to set it on rolling time, even though it's only a very short 3 laps, so that probably is not going to have any effect. Right, once you've confirmed it, it makes a good idea to edit the name. So if you've watched this video, you can see this now and you'll be able to find it. I mean, it's pointless racing it, but there you go. Road racing, YouTube demo, 3 laps. Makes sense. So you create the blueprint, and now that blueprint is shared. So people, if I click on that now, I'd race it, but now people can actually do that. So if I just escape out of this, and I go back to, I'm just going to escape all the way out. So I'm at this start point, I'm going to press Setup Event, I'm going to say a solo event, then I'm going to say Create Blueprint, and now from here, I'm going to say anything goes. And when it goes to, from here, I'm going to say select route. Now it goes into my route things, and see, this is the only one I've got from this start point. So now I can choose a route that I've previously made. So you don't have to do the route over and over again. You can use the same route to create different types of blueprints. So I could choose that route, and then I could go into my event settings, and I could change it to maybe a cross country. I could change the number of laps or whatever, you know. So if you want to do a race that you share and it's going to give people loads and loads of influence and loads of cash, you might want to make 3 different blueprints and give them the option to have dirt, road or cross country so that they can decide where they want those influence points. So that's going to make your blueprints a little bit more popular because it's going to appeal to people that are looking for specific points. So apart from that, you just do it in exactly the same way, name it something, then create the blueprint. I do strongly recommend that you give it a name that's going to help people to be able to decide if the blueprint is for them. So let's just get back. I don't want to save this. But now that we're in here, if I go to custom events, you'll see in my events, we've got the blueprint that I've just made. And if I go to friends and following, have we got any in here? No. But if I go to search friends and following, do we have any in here? Yes, we do. So a lonely Afghan has made a race here that didn't show up in my friends and following. He is my friend on, I nearly said Facebook. What's this called? Xbox. Right, so he's my friend on Xbox, but didn't show up in friends and following. I had to search for it. So I don't know why that happens, but sometimes they do show up. So I think maybe the only ones that show up are the ones that are also in the in these categories, like all-time greats, best of the month, or trending, or something. Because sometimes there are races in that that section of friends and following, sometimes there's not. But if you want to find somebody, just do the search. So yeah, I'm going to go on my custom events, I'm going to go to my event, and I'm just going to test it to make sure it works. So do I want to do it in the Vulcan? I might as well, makes no difference really. So yeah, you want to test your blueprint because I mean, sometimes they fuck up. Now, if you've done a 50-lap blueprint and you can't be bothered to race the entire thing, then just do like 2 or 3 laps or something, just to make sure that when you go back through the start line, it goes up to the next lap. Because sometimes when you go through the last checkpoint, it says checkpoint missed. And then when you go through the start line, it doesn't register that you've done the second lap. And then all of a sudden you realise that you're in 12th place instead of 1st, which is just an absolute pain in the arse. I don't know if you noticed then, but just before I said start race, it had the name of my race at the bottom, and it did have the lowercase letters. So you might want to change it all to caps, or you know, if you don't want it to look messy. So I think when it's in the lowercase, it looks messy. On the poster, it's all in caps, but on the that little thing there we just saw. I wonder if I go into the pause menu, whether it'll say. No, it doesn't. But this is only going to take a moment. I don't like not having gears. I mean, look, what the fuck, right? What is this person doing, right? This is the new fine art. What the fuck are you playing at? Where are you going? Okay, that's nothing to do with the route at all. Oh my god! Right, the driver tires are fucking useless. They need to patch this. It's like, why the hell has he gone up there? I wonder where he's going to go. I'm tempted to follow him just to see where he goes. Like, fuck this. This track's rubbish. I'm going home. It's so weird. It really is so fucking weird. So anyway, I'm first. The driver tires are having a lot of difficulty with my detours. I mean, they're not just turning around, they're really crashing into the wall. You were going the right way there, Pobble, and now you've kind of fucked up. Oh, Game Hacks, my alter ego, is actually crashing into a tree. I was going to say doing pretty well, but they're not at all. So I wonder where the new fine art is now. Let's have a look, see how far he's got. How far have you managed to escape? Oh no, he's come back. So he's going to be one of these two, isn't he? Or maybe down here. I don't. Oh, there he is. So why on earth did he go up there? I was kind of hoping that he was just on like a fugitive on the run. I wanted to see how far away he'd get before I'd by the time I'd finished the race. Is this lap 3? Yeah, so there we go. So you can see I'm in first position still. I'm on lap 3. Obviously this works. So that's fine for you to be promoting and sharing. So there we go, guys. That's how you make one of these races. Sometimes the last checkpoint doesn't. I didn't know I had an X-Class Vulcan. I thought it was just on an S2. I'd probably update it for one reason or another. I don't know. But anyway, I just want to tell you a couple of things before I just continue. Shamol, motherfucker. I think I've told this already, I'm not sure. I went away about a month ago to Cartagena, not in Spain, but Cartagena in Colombia. It's just in the north, in the Caribbean. And me and my wife were sitting at an outdoor restaurant in one of the squares, and there was a guy, he was quite far away from us, but he was doing, he'd got like a stereo, playing Michael Jackson tunes, and he was dancing Michael Jackson style. And he was fucking, oh, stop! Oh, absolutely beautiful. I didn't have that already, so that's awesome. So I'm gonna have a look at what that is. So yeah, he was dancing, and it was amazing, like absolutely incredible. It just got like this montage of different Michael Jackson songs, and he was doing different dances, obviously, but it was just fucking awesome, really awesome. Excuse me. And then at the end, he didn't come and ask anyone for any money, which I'm assuming he's not allowed to. I'm assuming the restaurants say don't pester our customers. You know, you can entertain them, but don't ask them for money, which I thought was a bit out of order, to be honest. So when he went, he cycled off. So I ran after him down the street. I caught him up, and I tapped him on the back to give him some money. And he turned round, and this was the first time I'd seen his face close up, and he fucking looked exactly like Michael Jackson, right? In the period of his life where his face was completely white, he'd burnt his hair on the Pepsi advert, etc. He looked just like that. It was unbelievable. And I gave him some money, and he went, "Oh, thank you, I love you very much." It was just like, oh my fucking God. It's like, are you actually Michael Jackson? It was just unbelievable. Now, my wife is a big Michael Jackson fan, so I got back to the table. I was like, oh my God. Right, for those people that have heard this before, I know I've said it before, but I know not everyone has watched my old videos where the audio was shit, so I'm going to repeat myself. But yeah, I got back to the restaurant, and I said to my wife, oh my God, you should have gone. You should have taken the money. It was unbelievable. You should have seen his face. It's like, you should have heard his voice. It's like he was Michael Jackson. It was fucking incredible. Right, what am I doing here? Right, someone get me back on track. What am I doing? Wheel spin. No. Car. That was it. I just want a car. I want a fucking car. Let's have a look at it. So, it was an Acura or something? It wasn't, was it? Oh, no, I forgot what it was. Was it? Oh, shit. I've completely forgot what it was. Ah, there it is, there it is. It was one of these. It was this. Okay, I've just won this. It looks pretty good. I've won a legendary car. Let's get inside and see what's there. Oh, it's so exciting! I do love it when I win something I hadn't already got. Yes, of course I fucking want it delivered. Right, I wish there was the option. Well, they need to scrap that off altogether. What's it there for? Right. Oh, I'm glad I'm on this. Don't you love it when you can see the little studs around the wheel arches? I like that. This is a nice car. Right, let's get inside, have a look at the dash. What the fuck? The dash is tiny. I've got a little button instead of a steering wheel. Right, so if you push the stick up and then you move it around, you can look inside your car, okay? Now, I know I've done this a few times on videos, and I always say I should credit the person that told me this on a comment, because I didn't know, and I used to bitch about the fact that you can't, and just this happens. But someone commented and taught me how to do that. It's really useful, so thank you. Nameless person, because I always forget to check. But yeah, push the stick up and then wiggle it about. You can't look down at your feet like you can in like dirt and games like that, so that's a shame. But yeah, it's still bloody useful. So let's take a look at the perks. This was a good spin. 3 times as fast. 7 times. Oh, I've just made a video that said these are all the cars with a 7 times multiplier. I did love this one in the video. Okay, right. I've got a small disclaimer to make about my previous video. I did say on that video that these are all the cars in the game that have a 7 times multiplier and a 3 times builder. And it was wrong, because I've just got another one. Oh, for fuck's sake. I'm going to have to keep making that video over and over again. Right, so this is another car that would be good for skills point farming, but it's not a Forza edition, so you're not getting the bonuses for the skills like you would do on the Renault, or the drift bonus on the BMW, or etc, etc. It's just a good car. Right, I'm going to have a little bit of a drive in it, but before I drive in it, I've got to change my settings, because I've got bullshit settings on at the moment that are just stupid. So difficulty. Right, I've got my driver line completely off. When you're doing the blueprints, you really want to have it on full, because it's so useful. When you're doing a detour, it means that you don't go back over your old track, because if you do that, it just deletes it. And it's just good to have it there while you're doing this. So yeah, I definitely recommend you having it on full, but I'm going to leave it off. I want my gears back on manual. My stability, ABS, the rest of it's fine. I mean, I've been fiddling with my settings because of that tutorial I was doing with the drifting. And I also want to change my control setup, because I'm on number 1 at the moment. I want to get back to 11. Let's go. Oh, for fuck's sake. Now I haven't got a change view button, have I? So now I have to do this. On Type 11, you don't have a change view button. You have to go in here and change it manually. So I prefer cockpit view. I'm going to turn my telly up a little bit so I can hear my gears, otherwise they're going to be squealing. Woohoo! Oh, it doesn't wheel spin much, and you have to really get your revs up in first before you change to second. It sounds nice. Oh my god, it sticks to the road unbelievably. I didn't do any sliding. Oh, I'm in the wrong gear. I didn't do any sliding at all. I hardly have to brake. I'm driving it really badly because it's just really sticky, and I'm just expecting it to not be as sticky as it is. Whoops. I barely have to brake or anything. It's kind of like, I mean, this is fucking winter. There's snow on the roads. Can you hear that noise? Did you hear that noise? Well, you know when I made the video saying that's not what an ice cream van sounds like? Where there was that little jingle that sounded like a music box, and I was moaning about it, saying it should be like Popeye or Match of the Day. Well, that noise that sounds like a donkey being buggered is an ice cream van, right? I don't know, it's just a guy who sells stuff out of this like Willie's Jeep outside this apartment block, and I think sometimes he sells ice cream and stuff like that, and then sometimes I think he's selling soap, but he's there for ages. He stays there for about like 30 minutes, just every like minute or two he does that bloody foghorn thing. It's well annoying. I wish he'd just fuck off. It's like, I mean, as most of you will know, aside of messing around on the Xbox, I'm also a hypnotist, so I record hypnotic audio quite regularly. And then if I'm recording some hypnosis, I have to have absolute silence. And then this guy comes along with his fucking foghorn donkey, like trying to sell people ice creams or soap, parked outside the house for like 45 minutes. I'm like, oh, fucking hell, I might as well just go and watch Netflix for a while. You're gonna hit the wall! There we go. Anyway, this is the car. Look at my strawberries. Big strawberries, I like that. Yeah, I like this coat. So that's my new car. It's not exciting to drive, it's quite boring actually. It's too fucking sticky. But let's just get back. I want to have a look at its spec. What is it? It's a rear wheel drive. I mean, the handling is too good. It feels like I'm driving on bloody glue. I'm proper stuck to the road, and it's winter. But yeah, I might drive it a little bit more, get into it. Right, this car. Shut up! Can you hear it? What a fucking racket. Right, this car here, the 695, whatever that says, 2016 Abarth thing. Somebody left a comment saying, will you make a video on this car? Why? Right? Tell me. What is there? Why would anybody want a video on this car? What's special about it? I have no idea. I got in it. It was nice to drive. I had a look to see whether it got a body kit or anything special, and it just, I don't know what's special about this car. I don't know why someone might want a video on it. If you know, because you are a petrol head and I am not, then tell me. Why would anyone want a video on this car? Anyway, I need to go and buy an ice cream or some soap. I don't know which one it is. But there, we're done, guys. That is it. So that was my video on how to find somebody. But that's enough. That is enough. It's just like, I don't know if you can hear him or not, but he's bloody pulling his horn a lot. So there we go, guys. You take care and have an awesome day. See you later. Bye-bye.